for each creature you control.
Some of these cards have good readings on them.
Here we go. You have another freaking Planeswalker. You weren't kidding about these Planeswalkers coming in like almost every pack.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Ob Nixilis, the Hate Twisted. It's a 5-drop, 2 swamp, and 3 colorless. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Ob Nixilis, the Hate Twisted, deals 1 damage to that player. Ooh. That's a dirty card.
Oh, yeah.
That's a...
Sorry, I'm just going to look at this people.
Yeah, no, you're fine, because the next 2 cards are
it's Ubinaxis, the Fallen. I had this card.
Ubinaxis? Oh, that's how you call it?
Remember in high school when someone... This is a flashback, but, like, I have this card in my black deck.
Gotcha. See, I didn't know that. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or a planeswalker you control. That's actually kind of cool. Except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and if it's a creature, it enters with an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker, and it isn't legendary if that permanent is legendary. I'm sorry, excuse me. What is a loyalty counter? Do you know?
I'm afraid I don't. Unfortunately,
Okay,
someone
that one actually
in the comments. I have no idea. We could probably look it up later.
We'll probably have to look that up later because that one actually confused me. I'm gonna put the planeswalkers over here together.
Oh, just make sure you keep the rares together.
Oh, the rares.
Yeah, the rares should be kept together.
That's a rare up there.
That's an uncommon. Oh, that's a rare. Okay, we'll keep it right there.
Oh, then these 2 don't need to be on here then.
Yeah, those are common. Just put the commons back in there.
Okay.
Just bear with us, people. We're trying to still figure this out.
Okay, so here's your holo. It's a God Pharaoh's statue. It's a 6-drop, colorless. It's a legendary artifact. Spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast now. And at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 1 life. So this is a hefty card to be dropping on someone.
Oh, yeah. Is it a rare?
No. Or...
It's an uncommon.
Yeah, so...
Oh, it's Nicol Bolas.
But that's still a card that I personally would like to use.
Oh, yeah. Surely, yeah.
That's something that would beat someone senseless.
Okay. Let's see what we get here. Hopefully we get a Mystic Rare on one of these cards. Okay. Let's see if there's any good cards. There we go. We got a Zombie Cat.
Oh.
We got a Dread Middlekin, the evil zombie cat.
That's a beautiful little cat.
Oh.
A little evil.
There we go. Our first Mystic Rare, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's put this right here.
It's called
Finale of the Promise. Or Final, if you want. However, people, it's a sorcery, and it is a 2-red drop with X colorless mana. So, however many you want to tap. That's going to be a beauty. It says, let me show you the, I actually like the art in most of these.
The art's always fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I swear. So, you may cast up to 1 target instant card, or up to 1 target sorcery card from your graveyard, each with a converted mana cost of X or less, without paying their mana cost. If this card is casted this way, would be put into your graveyard this turn. Exile it instead. If X is 10 or more, copy each of those spells twice. And you may choose new targets for the copies. That's peculiar. So pretty much is you can choose 1 instant and sorcery, or 1 or the other. And then it says if you have 10 or more that you paid, you can use that spell twice on each one. So let's say you have an instant that destroys card. You can destroy 2 cards instantly. And then a sorcery that says you can draw a card. You get to draw 2 cards because you're using it twice. That's actually kind of cool, especially for people who run red decks. Yes. So, like, if you run a Goblin deck, and most Goblin decks, all they do is just poke people.
Oh, yeah.
I'd hit 2 different sorceries for 5 damage each. That's 20 damage, instant, and game over.
Well, that's also a good card for tokens. Because, like, sometimes, like, you get a card to place a token. You can literally get I would say 2 or 4 more tokens out of that card. That means 4, easily 2/2 or 3/3 creatures in the field. And that can help you out in the long run.
Correct. Why is that side so hard to open?
Because that's how you don't open it. You open it from the top.
Like this?
Yes.
I've never opened it like that.
I always open them from the top.
I've never opened them from the top. As you can clearly see, those are... I just like the way the stuff looks. Alright. So let's go ahead and drop into this one. Most of these are repeating cards. That's a peculiar... I like this one. So I'm going to show this just because of the graphic it looks like. So it's called Lazotep Behemoth. It's just a zombie hippo. It's 5/4.
Oh, are you going to read the bottom of it?
There's what it says?
Yeah.
I know I should be more concerned, but a big blue zombie eponymous from beyond the stars. This is what they're invading us with. I've noticed...
It's going to be hard to say this card, but I got Fimp the Lost. Legendary creature Homunculus. When Flip, it's so hard to say, the Lost enters the battlefield, draw a card. If you enter from your library, or it was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. When Flip becomes a target of a spell, shuffle Flip into its owner's library. So basically, it's a 2-mana drop.
Oh,
Yeah, I told you his name is going to be really confusing.
that's a
That's a really good card.
I like the artwork on it.
I love
artwork.
he's just more lost on what's going on.
Homunculus. That's cool. Yeah, he's
He's rare. All right. Your
So-
turn.
I zoomed in a bit to where we have these now a little bit closer, that's closer, that you can still see that. I zoomed in all the way, but that kind of only showed the cards.
Yes.
But I wanted them to see the stack still and everything.
Yeah. So far we got 1 Mystic Rare.
So far, and out of what, 7 we open now?
Yeah. I have
1, 2, 3,
1,
you have
2,
6.
3.
I just opened up my 7. So out of 6, we got 1 Mystic.
Yeah.
That's not too shabby out of 6. So we're looking through all the commons right now, and so far...
So far comments I never look, Some of them are interesting. And some of these cards will actually tell the story of what's going on and
Correct.
like how everyone's affected by this.
We have another rampage right here. We have a Dovin. These walkers don't really have any way to survive anymore.
Some start with 3 or even 2.
Okay, here's a rare, real quick. Silent Submersible. It's an artifact, but it's a vehicle.
Yeah, that's from the steampunked world
So yeah, well,
of Kaladesh. I think that's what it's called, Kaladesh.
it says whenever Silent Submersible deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, draw a card. It has Crew 2, which is tap any number of creatures you control with a total power of 2 or more, and this vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So technically it's an artifact
Yes.
until you tap, let's say, just 1 creature with the power of 2. Mm-hmm. Then it's a creature that can attack. That's a pretty decent rare. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know how there's a ship and submarine in Ravnica when the whole plane is covered in a giant city.
You never know, man.
Yeah, true. All right. Let's see if we get a Mystic Rare Planeswalker. Hopefully we get Nicol so we actually know what we're talking about.
Nicobolus would be a suitable card to get.
Okay. There we go. I got Cyclops Electromancer. When
That's a ooh, I like.
That's a pretty cool looking card.
That's a beauty right there. Yeah, I definitely like. And it's only an uncommon.
This is gonna be cool. You're gonna actually like the artwork of this. Each player's put the top 4. It's called Bond of Insight, by the way. It's each player puts the top 4 cards of their library to the graveyard. Return up to 2 instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Bond of Insight, which is a good card. Together we can unlock secrets no one has ever dreamed of. I might even let you remember some of them.
Ooh.
It's basically in the world of Ravnica, basically there's guilds. There's a bunch of guilds and they all hate each other. But since this battle's been going on, they all have to join forces or they're all dead.
That's still a beauty card.
So that's the Izzet and the Dimir, which Dimir is my favorite. Basically, we got an air planeswalker called Jun Yungun Wildcrafter. That's what he does.
So each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has now a tap feature, which add 1 mana to any color, or 1 mana of any color. That's actually kind of cool, and with a -1 effect. So he can just pretty much do 3 times -1 effects to put a +1/+1 on target creatures. This kind of card I would set to some kind of green deck.
Oh yeah,
I would do a green-white deck or something where you can do +1/+1 counters and
Oath of Kanya. Basically, it's a legendary enchantment. When Oath of Kanya enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target. You gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent tags a planeswalker you control with 1 or more creatures, Oath of Kanya deals 2 damage to that player, and you gain 2 life. So that's not a bad card right there.
that is actually not with just a 3-tap, a white, a black, and a colorless.
Yes.
That's a pretty decent card. Not bad. And it's a rare.
Yeah, it's rare.
That's a beauty. So what we'll 3-tap card, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. You gain 1 life for each creature you control. That's actually a beautiful card to be running. You have the Wanderer Planeswalker. It's a white, colorless, 4-drop. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. That's a dangerous card. If you have that on the field, nothing will happen to you.
Yeah.
And then exile target creature with power 4 or greater, and that's a -2 for this card. That's definitely not too bad. We have a beautiful rare, Ravnica at War. It's a 4-drop. Exile all multicolored permanents. That's that one's a beaut. And this is just a common hollow. That's just...
All right. It's my turn. Let's see if we get another Mystic Rare.
Yeah, so far I haven't...
The last one I opened, my booster part, that was Exelon. I got 4 of 5 Mystic Rares. So far, we only got 1.
Well, we still have a decent amount to go.
Oh, yeah, true. Infating Metacore. That sounds really cool name.
It's always like the last few cards is what
You also like this artwork too. Bond of Revival. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn.
I like the way that actually looks pretty cool.
The Rakdos and the Gorgory symbols mixed together.
Mm-hmm. That's a beauty, and it's a uncommon.
I got Jaya Venerated Fire Mage. If another fire source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead.
Ooh.
-2, Jara Fire Mage deals 2 damage to any target. That's -2.
And that's a Planeswalker. They have so many more Planeswalkers now.
Yeah, it's every Planeswalker. They're all stuck in this world. Except of the, I think the Golden Sun, that's from Exelon block. So they're all stuck in this plane. There's no way they can get out. Once you're into that plane, you cannot get out. And it's Nicol Bolas' Deadly Trap. Okay, the rare for this, it's called Death Horde Invasion. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and a -1. Basically a -1 is you put a counter on your army you control. If you don't have it, then you create a new token for it. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn.
That's a dangerous card to be playing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's